Alright, so here I have my insert in here. The best way I could figure out how to hold the insert as center as I can. Alright, the tip. Now that's as close to center as I can. If you look at it, let me see. You guys probably can't see because it's too dark. Let me see if I can shine a flashlight in there. Alright, so you see how there's basically an air gap basically between the exhaust tip and the can itself, and it's pretty even, more or less around there. So that's that's the hole saw that the dude used to cut through this. And I have my welding setup here. My work clamp set onto the vise, which used to be the not the vise, the C clamp, vice grip C clamp here, which is basically to the vise. And I'm using a Miller Multimatic, right? Miller Multimatic. I'm set up as flux core, so I have a what was it? Shoot, I can't remember the numbers. I think I had 211 wire, if I can remember right. 211 wire, 030. You see 030 211 wire. I'm not sure you guys can see that. I can't tell if I can see that on my screen or not. The screen is too small. I have it set at 16 gauge, even though this thickness here is actually not 16 gauge. It's actually thinner. Where I'm welding it, it looks like it's 18 gauge. And the reason why I have it at 16 gauge is because my welder here, the end here, it's not small enough to reach in there. So I'm kind of far away, and this is the stick out that I want. You see how the wire sticks out? That's the length of stick out that I want. That's about half an inch or so. Any more than that, you lose power. And so that's why I have the machine set at 16 gauge, so that way I could go a little bit further out, and hopefully I don't lose too much power, and hopefully it doesn't burn up the wire too easily. Alright, so basically that's how it's set right now. Let's see, moved a little bit. Let me recenter it. It's not perfectly balanced because of this clamper here. Without this clamp, it's actually very well balanced. But with the clamp, it's not. It's kind of kind of heavy on one side, so that's why it's kind of shifting to the left, because it's heavy on the right side. So that side wants to drop down to the bottom. So anyway, so this, if you look in here, you can see that the tip is pretty much contained as far as the air area goes, right? It's all inside, so when I'm welding, it's most of the light and splatter is going to be in there, inside the end. There's only a little bit going to be shooting out this way, so that's why I'm not as protected. That's why I'm wearing sandals and shorts. I am wearing a long sleeve, and I'm going to put on my helmet and everything, so I'm protected. So let's see how this goes. Let me put this on the tripod. Unfortunately, I don't have a tripod that's tall enough to reach where you guys can see. I have to place this in a way where it's kind of not in my way, so I can actually do the work. And hopefully it doesn't splatter around the lens and destroy the lens. So again, I'm using a flux core wire. So hopefully this works. So I just nip my end here and put on my, again, the can and everything here is all stainless. So here's my magnet. I stick on it and it doesn't stick. Versus my tool here, it sticks, right? So nothing sticks here. So I have to use clamps. I can't use a magnet to hold this in anyway. So I'm gonna have to do what that's the thing with welding. When you weld stuff and fabricate, sometimes things are oddball, and you just gotta make do with what you got. You gotta jig it up however you can, whatever you could do. This is what I got. So I'm gonna look for the spot where the smallest gap, or at least the spot where I can reach, and hopefully I could work it from there. And if I could take this insulator off, I could actually reach further in. But the thing if I do that is that I'm actually touching the metal here against the side of the exhaust can, and that's where my arc is going to happen instead of happening at the wire. So that's why I don't want to do that, because I won't be, I know for sure I won't be able to make this not touch the can. so I have to use the insulator. I wonder if I could get like maybe electrical tape. This thing's kind of thick. It's kind of thin, but it's kind of thick. I might be able to get electrical tape and maybe tape this up just enough so that way it doesn't have continuity. But let me try with the insulator first. If I can't reach into it, then I might do the electrical tape. So let's see. Well, let's do this. Turn my helmet on. All my stuff going on. Man, I can't see nothing. It's so dark in there, especially with the helmet on. Let me get my flashlight here. Oh man, I can't reach in there. I'm like half an inch away. Dang it. Okay, let's try it. It worked. I think it did work. That's good. I'll chop that end off a little bit. Let me, I'm worried about getting too hot. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually running a little metal on both sides. That way it comes, the bead comes closer together until they touch. Once I get the touch, you know, basically that's like a tack, if you will. So that's pretty good. I got it. Let's go in there and look at it. Hope you guys could hear me when I have my helmet on. So let's look at it. Oops. Put my gloves off. Can't move the camera with gloves on. So it's still smoking there. So let's see. Oops, it's too bright. Let me set the lower setting. There we go. Switch hands. So yes, maybe you see a little better. So you see that little nugget right in there. Right, the nugget right there. See that? So I was able to weld one little bead on one side and one bead on the other side, and I just kept on jumping back and forth until it grew bigger and bigger, and they got closer and closer until they basically they bridged and got together. So that's one right there. I'm gonna do a few more. I'm gonna do at least a couple more, I think, just to hold it in place until I could take all this clamp off, so that way I could make my way all the way around. So yeah, so once I go all the way around, or I get it all in place, then I could go all the way around, and I'm going to do the same thing because that gap is so big. The gap is easily 1/8 of an inch. That air gap right there is easily 1/8 of an inch, and that's too big of a gap to just run one bead, one puddle. If you run a puddle that big on this thin of a metal, it will just blow a hole, or it just make the hole even bigger. So you have to just basically do one puddle at a time to get it to basically get attach to itself. So everything seems to still look like it's in alignment, more or less. It might be a few, might be a millimeter, maybe 2 millimeters off at most. But this is the best I could get it, with this fixturing setup that I have right now. So let's continue on. And I wish I had a better angle for you guys, but this is what I got. So unfortunately, that's what I got. So yes, I'm gonna do at least 2 more of those before I take off the clamps. That way it's tacked in place so it holds itself. Right now with one, it's not able to hold itself, right? So I need the flashlight to give me some light in there. This is the helmet on. I can't see dilly squat. Shit. Touch my tip to the metal, so it shorted at the tip instead of the wire itself. A little spark got right between my legs and my crotches. Okay. I've got 2 spots. The third one. The good thing about this is on this side is that it's higher up. On the other side it's going to be lower down, so it's even harder for me to reach. So I have to stoop over even more compared to what I am doing now. So I got this thing on the kind of 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So let me do a 12 o'clock. Oh shit, god damn it. Holy schmoly. The last one blew a big giant hole. Damn, that's a big hole. Oh, you know what? Why it's big is because that part was really thin. That's where the hole saw made it thinner. Because when the guy cut this with the hole saw, you know, the hole saw was kind of walking around. Oops. The hole saw was walking around, so it didn't stay center. So there's some spots that's thinner than others. So I can't do that spot for right now. I need to skip that spot, find another spot now. Dang it. Same thing. Fucking A. It's so thin right there. Oh, it's paper thin there, that's why. Holy smoly. Okay, I see why it is burning, because it's paper thin. Let me see if I can turn the machine down to maybe an 18 gauge. Hopefully that would help. Okay, yeah. Well, that one's not very good. That's all this porosity. God dang it. What's the porosity? How it is when you're welding in a spot that's really tight and there's no way of cleaning it or anything. This is kind of the way it is, unfortunately. We'll do one more down here. Get some extra material. I'm cutting the tip there because the end has a little bit of flux, and the flux is an insulator, so that's why there was no continuity. I have to cut that off so that way there's a bare metal. God dang it. Touch the tip again. Okay. I'm touching the tip. I'm at the wrong angle here. Okay, every touch in there. Alright, I got sort of 4 spots. I don't know how solid it is, but something's better than nothing. So let's look at it. So this is gonna be a slow process. It's gonna take a lot of time. So actually, let me use that. So there's one spot there on the bottom, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock position. There's 2 spots actually, right? Hopefully you guys can see that. And up on the what is that, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock position, there's 2. So I think that's enough to keep this thing kind of steady. So I'm gonna take the clamp off, and hopefully I could, because the clamp's in my way, hopefully I could do this without the have better access. So again, the camera's kind of in my way, so it's kind of like every time I do something, it's like my hand's hitting the camera right here, knocking it out of position. So goes off and off. I'll probably leave this in here to leave it as it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. See that? You see the yes. Let's see if you guys saw that. Now I'm actually able to kind of shake the whole entire muffler a little bit. I don't want to put too much stress on it, otherwise the tabs will break. But now I have space. I think I could put my work clamp instead of here. I could put it down further down the pipe, where there's bare metal. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm probably gonna do maybe the rest of it off camera because you guys really can't see nothing anyways, right? So yeah.